welcome back to my channel. Now, I went back and forth on whether or not I was going to do a 2025 reset video. I was thinking, it's too late. I didn't actually reset my goals, my word of the year, all of that until like the first week of January had passed. Right now, it is the Friday before I return to work from maternity leave. And so as of now, I have everything set. I have my Notion set up. I have everything in my planner for this year all set up and ready to go. And so that kind of inspired me, this might be late, but we're going to do it anyways. It's kind of the theme for 2025 for myself, is that it might be hard, but we're doing it anyways because I am returning to work as a mom now of two littles. I have a 2-year-old and a 2-month-old. And so there's going to be lots of challenges in terms of getting things done, being patient with myself, giving myself grace. And so with that, we're going to go ahead and blaze forward and do this yearly reset video. So if you're maybe a little bit behind the curve in terms of past New Year's Eve, past New Year's Day, still looking at your goals for the year, there is no rule. There is no rule that you have to start on any given day. You can start now, you can start today. So maybe this is your sign to just go ahead and do it anyways. So with that, let's go into the word of the year that I have set, my vision board, and then my annual goals. Okay, first let's start with my word of the year. So I actually kind of have two words of the year for 2025. For last year, 2024, my word of the year was create. I wanted to focus on creation. It's kind of ironic that the agency I work for has create in the name as well, because it was my first full year with them, but also just focus on content creation, on writing the book that I started, on creating a second life physically, as my goal at the beginning of the year was to conceive our second baby, and we did in January, in the very beginning. So I had my second son by November. And so the theme of the year was creation. That was the intention and focus for 2024. Now for 2025, the first word of the year that I was inspired by was unite. I feel as though I am a multi-passionate person and I have passions in so many different avenues, and I would love to kind of just unite all of that within my own day-to-day life. I want to be able to pour into these different buckets, to not neglect any part of myself, and then abide is the second word of the year. So abide means, and specifically this came from the verse in John, abide in me and I in you. The essence of that verse is just to stay, to remain, to be faithful, to continue along the same path that you're on. And that's kind of how I feel is going to be the theme for me in 2025. I don't feel called for any major life change. This theme of faithfulness and uniting my passions and callings is the theme of the year. So abide and unite are the words of this year. So real quick, also, I wanted to share my vision board for 2024 and my reality board that I created, and I tried to swap picture for picture from the past year what could most evenly match the vision for the year before. So here is my 2024 vision board, and here is my 2024 reality board. That was such a cool way to see how powerful visualization is. And so here's my 2025 vision board. Okay, so with that, I did not hold back in terms of my goals for this year. So I focused a lot on the previous year on creating all of these different systems for myself in terms of productivity. And so I feel really solid within those systems. And I am just attempting to integrate a new little life and schedule into those systems as well. And so as a result of those systems, these are the goals that I'm hoping will come out of it. So there isn't really any extra action I need to take in order to make these goals happen. I just need to stay the course, to abide, to remain faithful. And so First, here are my career goals for 2025. So first, I want to earn a 3 to 5% salary increase at my annual review. Then I want to build a professional portfolio for the year. Then I want to continue developing expertise in market analysis and audience analysis. That is what I do a lot at work, and I would really just love to be known for those two things because I really enjoy them. Next, I want to renew my Google Ad certifications in terms of Google Search, Google Display, and Google, what's the third one? Video? Yeah. Video, display, and search. And so I want to renew those for the year because those are just some of the certifications I keep active as a marketing strategist. Then I want to earn a new marketing certification. I want to actively seek mentorship in my field. I want to hopefully reach 5,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And by Q4, I hope to be making $300 a month. So hopefully by Q4, whether it's at the very, very end, the last month of the year, or the beginning of the quarter, at some point within the last 3 months of the year, I'd like to be consistently earning $300 a month. So here are my goals in my creative life, so creation. Now I separated work goals and creative goals. By work, anything that I'm doing to make money. So I kind of tilted YouTube over into the work category because I am making income every month off of YouTube. And so the creative life goals are things that could turn into income in the future, but right now I don't make any money from these things. And so this falls into its own category here. So first, I want to self-publish my first book by age 30. This is definitely a huge goal, but I would love to make it happen. I want to start a blog, Honey and Hazelnut, for working moms. More to come on that later. I want to revive my Personality City content. I want to film and launch a course for Personality City. I want to start sharing my writing on Instagram. I actually did create the account for this already. It's at by Jenna Jessman. And so if you'd like to see some of my writing, there's going to be poems, some excerpts from the book that I am writing, and more. So if you want to follow creative writing, you can find that Instagram account because that is out there now. I want to speak on my Instagram stories regularly. I want to learn how to make bagels from scratch. So last year I learned how to make sourdough. This year I want to start making bagels. We'll see how that goes. And then I want to buy a keyboard and relearn piano. I learned how to play the piano when I was in junior high, high school. I kind of lost the skill in college at some point just from lack of use, but I think I'd be able to pick it up rather quickly. And so in terms of just creative expression, I would love to do that. All right, in the health category, I have a weight goal as number 1, but I'm not going to share what that exact number is, but I would like to get back within that zone within the year. I would like to start taking aerial classes again. I would like to focus on healing my diastasis recti after birth. I want to do a parasite cleanse. I want to give up coffee for a period of time. I'm thinking this might be a Lent goal of mine, just because in terms of addictions, coffee is the only thing I could say that yes, I'm actually addicted to drinking coffee every day. And so I'd love to go through a period of time where I am cleansed and purged off of that. So I might become a tea girly for Lent. We'll see. I want to take vitamin C and D daily. I was vitamin D deficient with both my boys when I had my blood work done, and so I would love to take vitamin C and D daily to kind of build up those levels again. I want to have undistracted family dinners. I have a really bad habit of scrolling on my phone and being on my phone while I'm eating dinner. I have just done it for years and years and years, and so it's hard for me to just sit and have a conversation at dinner, but that is a standard I would love to set for my family, is just to have undistracted, phones away family dinners. And so I'm going to try to start that within myself by breaking the habit within myself this year. And then I want to volunteer at least once at my church. In the finances category, here are my financial goals for the year. I want to tithe 5% of our income to either our local church or a charity. I would then like to tithe the other 5%, so to make 10% total, into a blessings fund that I started last year. And so this blessings fund is actually money that we can use to kind of spoil a family member, to buy a stranger their groceries, any need that we see. The blessing fund is for that. And so it really helps us be a little bit more flexible, to be kind of the arms and feet of Christ within the moment. We know that we have a certain amount of money put away for this blessings fund. Now, right now, for now, now there isn't anything built up in the blessing fund. There's just a very, basic base amount to keep the account open. But I would love to build that up so that we can actively use that and be more generous as the need may arise that we may see in a loved one's life or a stranger's life, wherever God calls us to give. So that is a fun thing that we're doing this year. I want to invest the maximum amount in my Roth IRA to max out last year's contribution, which I haven't finished maxing out yet, and this year's contribution. I want to save another $10K within our home fund, preparing to put a deposit down on a house. I want to fully repair all the maintenance issues that I have on my Kia so that we can prepare to sell it hopefully next year and upgrade our vehicles. I want to send all of our birthday cards for out-of-town family members out in January. Now, I actually have already checked this off, so they are ready to go for our nieces, nephews, my husband's siblings and siblings-in-law, and my in-laws, my parents-in-law. They all live up in Oregon, so we don't see them usually for birthdays throughout the year. And so what we've been doing is we've been sending virtual gift cards, and I always forget to send them though, because there are so many family members and so many birthdays. There's usually like each month that comes, there's at least 2 birthdays in the month. And so I went ahead to send this so that it can be checked off all at once. Then I want to save up all of my credit card rewards to be used for Christmas shopping at the end of the year. I thought this might be a creative way to utilize our credit card rewards, to not touch it throughout the year, and to kind of have a chunk of the Christmas shopping budget done and taken care of without actively thinking about saving the money. So I'd hope to get that done. And then last, I would like to set up a kids fund to be used for education in the future, but for now, just for their daily needs. This would probably go towards, Lord willing, a 3rd birth potentially. So we're kind of saving up in preparation for that way in the future, but that is a goal I would love to check off this year. All right, and then in the personal category, I have these 10 goals. First is to read 40 books. Second is to keep a journal. Third is to have a memorable 30th. I am turning 30 this year in July. I cannot believe it. I only have a few months left within my 20s. Then to go on weekly date nights. I would love to start this as a habit. Then to take a weekend trip every quarter. We don't have a major vacation planned this year because we're planning one for next year. And so I'd love to take kind of a weekend trip each quarter to continue to travel. Our next one we're planning is actually to visit the East Coast for a cousin's wedding. She lives in Virginia, very northern Virginia, and so we would actually see Washington, D.C. So that's the first trip that we have on the calendar, is to go for that wedding and to see family in Virginia and to also see the Capitol. The next is to book our next family vacation for 2026. Then I would love to join a mom or women's group. There is a big gap, I feel, in my life for just female community, and so I would love to kind of invest more in that this year. And last is to declutter and upgrade my wardrobe. There's definitely some pieces that just don't fit, and I would love to kind of be realistic with my body type now, instead of thinking like, okay, ideally in a few months of heavy working out, then I can fit into this thing again, and just really find pieces that are comfortable and movable in terms of size, because we are planning on having more kids in the future. And so as you fluctuate and have kids, it can be hard to have like maternity seasons, postpartum seasons. So I just really want pieces that can work and be flexible with all of these different changing seasons of life while I am in the season of having kids. All right, so lastly, before I go, the planner that I'm using for 2025, I would love to share with you. It was a very well-targeted Instagram ad that got me right when I was looking for one. And so this is the Abide Christian Planner. I am loving it so far. I really like the sections. I feel like it could be overwhelming though if you haven't done any of this kind of productivity schedule work for yourself, but this actually matched what I was doing last year in terms of creating like the ideal weekly calendar. Like, don't be overwhelmed, but this is what my ideal week looks like for this next quarter. This is work that I have already done for myself, and so this planner definitely really supported it. It's very heavy, but I love it. So would definitely recommend the Abide Christian Planner. Okay, so that's where I'm at in terms of my goals for 2025. I am so excited to embrace this next year. I hope that you are too. Remember, wherever you're at, wherever you're starting, just do it with the resources, talent, and time that you have now. That is my encouragement for you. I hope is going to be the takeaway that you have from this video. But in the meantime, I will catch you on the next one. Bye, friends.